Guys, it's Aja, and I'm back with Talk Time Tuesday. You'll never guess who I roped into being my guest today. The one and only Mr. Superfly, Mr. Aaron from Grownish, if you don't know, Mr. In My Feelings, Mr. Trevor Jackson himself. This is my talk show, kind of kicking with friends show. We're not friends yet, but you know, my past people are just strangers are just friends you haven't met yet. So praise God. And I really am grateful for your time. I just want to stress that, you know, time is valuable and I appreciate yours. Okay, what has been the most important lesson you've had to learn about the industry being a Black man?
Most important lesson I've had to learn about the industry about being a Black man. Okay, well, I mean, it's basically the same thing you learn about the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, there's no door that we can't enter, but it's a little more difficult than most people who aren't. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one. Two, I think. I don't know, man. I had a moment, like a mode or like a period of time where I was like experiencing it more so. And then it went to the point where I was like, I just gotta be the best at me. Better, whatever. And it's not being the best Black person, not being the best thing, it's just being the best person that I can be. And I feel like it's hard for anybody who's, I think there's more good people than bad. And I think good people will acknowledge that, and sometimes, regardless what your upbringing was or what you were forced to believe, kind of truth in people who are being honest with themselves. You know what I'm saying? So that's something I've learned. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. But also, you can't live under that you can't always have that weight on your shoulders. But it's always good to be aware.
Yeah.
The way that it's gonna be. But and then it just made me want to create my own stuff.
Yeah.
In terms of, you know, music videos and stuff, I started directing my own thing. I was like, I could do this if I wanted to do it, you know? So that, and yeah, you just got to move a little more carefully, because they're not as forgiving with us as they are.
Yeah. I think that what you said was beautiful, but one part that stuck out for me is I think it's important to know the difference between being aware and having a chip on your shoulder. You know, it's like you have a cause that you're passionate about, or, you know, it's not even just a cause, it's, you know, our reality, because it's just who we are. But, you know, more times than not, it's like we can't control the life that we're given, but we can't control ourselves. And so I think that's an important lesson.
The storm within.
Yeah, it's important to learn that.
I was talking with someone the other day. Yeah, it's about the storm within, dude. It's not about always trying to be able to weather the storm, but being able to weather the storm within you, because there's always going to be stuff going on, and always going to be a lot of chaos. And the way to ultimate peace is being able to find that in every situation. Yeah. And what helps is knowing that everything is going to work out.
Right. Okay. That was good. All right. I did a little research on you. Not that I had to, because literally everyone I know is dying of you, but literally I had to check your Wikipedia page. I don't know that I would want anybody to check the Wikipedia page.
Yeah, Wikipedia, they be sometimes hit and miss, you know.
They miss hard too, but it helps that I think that I've kind of subconsciously followed your career. I think from the first time I saw you was on Let It Shine. Yep. And then I started watching Grownish, and I loved you on that. And then I never saw Superfly before, ever. Until maybe a couple weeks ago, my best friend was just like, have you seen this movie? And she was like a die-hard T. Jackson fan. And so I watched the movie, and it was so just action-packed. I was like, wow, very Atlanta type of like mob type of. It was just really a cool movie. I'm just a sucker for action movies. So, but one thing I did learn about you that I didn't know was about your musical influences, and I resonated with that because I love Michael Jackson. I'm a diehard Michael Jackson fan. Yeah. I'm a diehard Donny Hathaway fan. So I think that you have great taste in music, but I wanted to ask you, how have some of those musical influences kind of shaped your sound or the music that we hear from you as your fan?
I feel like the me that I'm at now, it's more so the way in which I attack my music is kind of the biggest influence of those people. Prince is another one, but in terms of Michael's the reason why I didn't give up. I quit a lot of times, and it's so easy to quit, but it's not easy to quit when you feel like you can't breathe without doing something.
Yeah.
But he, just the way at which he would work, I was like, anytime I was tired, I was like, Michael would have kept going. He would have pushed through. Or when I was mad, he was like, he would have kept going. So that's something that I was always like in my head. I would say to myself. Yeah. And then Donnie, just in his own style, his own way. Prince in his own style, his own way. Prince is the reason why I started writing my own music and guitar.
Yeah.
I always knew Prince was, but it wasn't until I was like 20, 21 that I really like dove into him. And he's a legend, dude. And it was just like, if he could believe in himself that much in a world where that was so unaccepted, or a place that, and it didn't care what people had to say about it, because he believed in himself. And I was just like, bet, I can write my own music, I can direct my own videos, I can do what I want to do, and who cares?
And so you do it all, write, direct, sing, act, all your own stuff. And so I think it's really awesome to see. I was watching Insecure the other day, and it's one of my favorite shows, but it's just insight into the life. I feel like most young people don't really get to see that you can be your own, whatever you need. They're taught that, we have to go through a system, and you have to excel academically. The school system, in an honest way, I feel like it doesn't cater to everybody specifically, but we all have our specific gifts. So it's kind of just like, I think that your story is great because you have this slew of just gifts and talent, and then you go out and you have all these influences that also influence other people, but you take those influences and you make them into your own kind of, you make your own out of it. It's good artistry. I respect that.
I say life is like a grocery store lane, and you don't have to use everything, but you take what works for you. You might want to take some, use it, and then put it back, or maybe just have a little bit of it, or, but that combination of whatever ends up being in your cart at the end of the lane is who you are.
Yeah.
You can't become who you are without, you gotta be influences, there's gotta be inspiration. You can't do it all on your own,
Yeah. That's good. All right. So now you stated that Rough Drafts, the trilogy, is the realest project you've made. I want to say, have you ever hesitated in sharing who you are and being transparent through your music, or whether it be your acting or what have you? Have you ever felt any reluctance in sharing that side of you to the world?
A little bit, but when it comes to music, I don't really have a choice, because that's just ends up how it's always ends up. That's how it ends up. Is me.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be literally a situation that happened a few hours before, or it could be something that happened yesterday, or something that I tapped into that happened to me a while ago, or maybe my friend was talking to me about a story and I wanted to keep going on that story, or, but it's always, when it comes to writing, it's funny, like a lot of my friends, they're like, dude, we never know what's going on with you until we listen to your music. They'll be like, because I'm good all the time. That's who I am. That's the position I put myself in my own life, is to be the guy that is always here to make everybody happy. Not to the point to where it kills me, but to the point to where that is where I feel like my position is. And anybody, I don't care what kind of day you're having. If you see me, you're gonna have a good day after that. That's just like what it is. So, but then they'll listen to the album or music, and I'm talking about craziness. Whether it's about a relationship or just, like you were saying, frustration, reluctancy about something, and they'll hear it and be like, oh, this is about blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah. Just put in the music. Music is I'm telling you, I always say music is like those, I don't want to be disrespectful to the culture, but I think it is Asian descent, all right? That's what I think. where they used to light those like lanterns and then let the lanterns go. It's like that's how like music is for me. When I finish it, it's like whatever it took to make it, however much pain or however deep I had to go, it always becomes a beautiful thing, and therefore I stopped being afraid of maybe quote unquote negative or hard or difficult moments in my life. I stopped being afraid of those. Started being like, yo, they always become something beautiful. And there's nothing better than listening to a song from like 5 years ago when I was in a dark place and being like, this song is hard. So something beautiful came out of,
Yeah, I agree. That's beautiful. I think songwriters go through that like awakening period, I think more than most people, because I always say music is kind of like another language, like another world almost. It's like you can convey any message through music, any emotion, anything. You can paint a picture with it. It's like art in its rawest and truest form. So I completely agree with that statement. I saw a awesome video of you from when you were young. And you were singing this song, and we have a video of it.
Oh! Wow! Oh my God! That's hilarious. Hey, hold on. Wait, first, you got a question?
No, you can say whatever you need to.
Go ahead.
I wanted to ask you, that's so funny, how seeing that video, what do you remember most about that moment?
I remember that like one of the first times I felt God while singing. That was like probably the first time, and I was like mad at myself because I didn't know what it was. I felt it, and then I got off stage and I'm like, Mom, what the heck? And I was like mad, like wiping my face, like tears, wiping my tears. I was probably 11, and she was like, what? I was like, I don't know. I was like crying out there. My chest like felt open, and I don't know what's going on, what was wrong. I'm not a baby. Why am I crying? She's like, it's all right. You felt the spirit. You felt God. It's okay. And I was just like, what the heck, man? I was like pounding, but then it was like, it made sense, But that was, like, I had never cried from music before until like that moment. Like me singing and then not getting it. Like I was like, why? And I kept trying not to, and I just could not. Just like break down.
Ooh, wow. That was beautiful. I always love to see, like, kids are like my thing. I just love kids. They're so awesome. They're so gifted. They're like tiny little invincible humans. It's just the best. But I always love to see kids like using their gifts or exploring their gifts or whatever, what have you, just being kids. And I think that video, because you're a grown man now, but I think that is a reflection of who we really are at our core, like at our base, Sure. That's the simplicity and the innocence that's, within us, even through hardships or life or whatever, at whatever age. I think it's important that we still acknowledge and are honest with ourselves about who we really are. And
because there's always kids. I realize that there's no such thing as adults. Like every time, the older I've gotten, it's just like they're just like a little bit older version of kids. Like even older people that, and when you're young, you're like, oh my God, that's 18. Oh my goodness, 20. Oh my goodness, 25. Oh my 30. And now I'm like 20 looking at, maybe 30 or 40-year-olds. And I'm like, you're just like, still trying to figure it out. Still trying to get it together. Nobody has the answers. Everybody's still learning. You just have a little bit more confidence as you're going through it because you've been through more, but you still are just as unaware about certain things. And it's just crazy, how, and that's why I feel like too, the older I've gotten, I started respecting older people more because now that I'm 23 has probably been the most transformative year of me. And I think like the things that I've had to go through like mentally, when I look at people that are like 40, 50, 60 years old, and I'm like, yo, you've done what I think I'm going through is hard. You've done that 3 times, 2020. Like, wow, I commend you for still being here and being cool. Because, I feel like as I've always grown up, you always meet an old person that kind of reminds you of you and that understands you, like, hey, man, don't listen to them. Like, I was like that when I was young, blah, 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 blah. And it's like the fact that you can go through all that life and still not be an a-hole is a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? So.
Dude, you get it. You get it. That's crazy. It's important that we go through life and try at least not to be a-holes.
Nobody wants to. That's why people always like, man, I want to be famous or want to be. I'm like, what? I'm like, first of all, that should never be the goal. Goal needs to be to, want to be a happy, not a-hole. I was like, because there's so many successful, famous a-holes.
Yeah.
They're not happy. That's not success. Yeah. Success is not having a lot of money or having a lot of fame. Success is being able to be happy and teach others to be happy. That is true success.
You get it. Oh my goodness, you sound like me. I live and preach this. Success isn't what society paints it to be. Success is, where am I happy? Where am I being fulfilled? Am I living my purpose? Am I fulfilling my destiny? Am I being the best version of myself, or at least trying to be? I think that's when you're successful. Because when you conquer your mind, the rest will fall in line. Okay.
For real.
All right, this is good. Our last question.
Hair's relayed, baby. Hair's relayed. Sorry, I was just.
Okay. Had to. This quarantine has been period. Okay. But no, you've achieved so much in your career. What is the next 5 years looking like in your goal book, in your daily planner? What are some
still
things?
Being quarantined. I'll still be in quarantine, and I'm just. No.
Not still.
I definitely want to write something and direct something film-wise. I definitely want to write something. I feel like I got a lot of ideas, and it's like hard because I have so many ideas that I feel like I just don't want to do any of them because I'm like, I'll never be able to get them out, which is a bad attitude to have towards it. But I just have so many ideas, so I think I want to write something. Obviously, I have like 3 albums in the vault right now, so maybe make another album or 2. But there's just so much music that I have that it's like making music isn't like a thing. It's more of like releasing it now. But yeah, there's no like lack of music in the computer. So wanting to release more music in the next 5 years, maybe. But I'm about 23, so 5 years. I'm not good at math.
28.
Appreciate that. Yeah, 28. I don't know, 28. Maybe have a kid. 29, have a kid, something.
Okay.
I want to be a good dad. That's one of my favorite things.
That's a good goal to have, man.
Definitely want to be a good dad and be able to have that sweater's ridiculous. Sorry. I'm looking at the TV. I'm looking at you. One of the most common things I think is, and I think that's why I'm always so hard on myself too, is I just want to make sure that I have the answers for my kid, whoever that is.
Yeah.
When they come to me and say, Dad, how, why, when, I want to be able to, even though nobody has all the right answers, but give them the best chance to win. Like, you know what I'm saying? Give them the best opportunity.
I'm all for that.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I'm always really hard on myself. People like, Trip, it's okay. I'm like, no, I got to get it right. There's no room for any of the BS because, I've got other lives to. It's almost shepherding in a way. You got kids; they're looking up to you, like
It's definitely shepherding. This is a flock you have to raise, feed. You have to be responsible for. Yeah. And in raising a child, they are you basically. They carry what you've taught them. So I think that it is very important to instill good values in your kids. Make sure that it's a great attitude to have towards having kids. Most people just be like, it's up in here, So kudos to you, even as a young man. I do not see very many men who are very concerned about that aspect. So this is good. You're doing good. This is I want to say maybe the most chill interview I've done, and so I thank you for that. It just feels like relaxing. I don't really want it to feel like an interview, so that's a really good thing. I appreciate that. This was our last question, so we can get to our game, and then you can get back to kicking.
You got Matilda. Hold on, Matilda, come here. Come here. Come here.
Oh.
Come here.
Puppy love.
Come here, Matilda.
Tessa said leave, you know.
Can you see her?
Oh my goodness! She's not looking at the camera, so she's not for it. She's not for the games, and I understand. She's like, nah.
Thank you.
She's so cute. How old is she?
She's about to be 3 in July.
Oh, she's still a baby. Aww. This is a big dog that acts like a little dog. And my mom has a little dog that acts just like this. Will lay out and just get rubbed.
Oh yeah, this is her thing. Look.
That's her rubbing. Look at her, how comfortable. She's gotten into position. She's been here before. She's new to this, not new to this.
She's keeping her balance right here with the hands.
Okay. Look,
she's like yeah, that's it right there. That's
I love it. Okay.
All right, let's do this. Let's do this rapid fire. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Rapid fire. Now, I think that you played this game before, but if you have not, I'm going to briefly explain the rules. It's called rapid fire or player plead the fifth. I'll ask you a question. You have the option to plead the fifth and not answer, or you can answer and you can say whatever you want to say. Period. Okay. First one is, who is the last person you blocked and why?
I think someone that I didn't like that didn't get my number from me giving it to them, and they just kept hitting me up. I think just asking for me to like come to something. It was just like, hey, I got this thing. Hey, check out my blah blah blah. And it was just like probably the 30th text of that. And, just had to go on. And you know what? I appreciate you. God bless you from far away.
But okay, well, and sometimes you just have to, maybe if they just keep calling, they just gotta go. And I would agree.
Sure.
I almost blocked my mom for the same reason, okay? Alrighty. Question number 2 is, who is your celebrity crush or crush is?
I think Salma Hayek is up there. For sure.
Oh, you have great taste. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, she's everything.
Salma Hayek is probably at the top of that. I think the homegirl from Zorro, the original, at that time, Catherine Zeta-Jones.
She's beautiful even still. I would watch anything with her in it.
Yeah. Let's see, man. There's a lot. I am a fan of beauty. You know what I mean? I can't really say there's
Same.
You know what I mean? Just if okay, cool, awesome. All right.
Look, I get it. I get it. Very many beautiful ladies out here. I'm not mad at you. Okay. Question number 3 is, what was your wildest fan encounter?
I think when a fan passed out, I never thought that was like a real thing, and it happened. Like I was doing a meet and greet. I was probably 16 or 17 on this high school tour. I remember I performed, and then I was doing the meet and greet, and I hugged this girl, and I turned around to meet the next person, and everybody was like, "Oh my God!" His face went to go, and I turned around, and she was like, "Oh my God!"
Out.
Yeah, and I was just like, "Oh my goodness!" And then she came to a few seconds later, but she had passed out. I was just like, wow, that's wild.
I think that would be hard for anybody to accept or come to terms with. But I do realize that you have this effect on the women that I know. Yeah. They just cannot contain themselves. All my sisters were trying to come over to my apartment so that they could be part of this interview. My best friend was like, "Oh, girl, come over so you can interview him in front of me. I can sing all his songs." I was like, "Oh, okay."
That's hilarious. Hey, but no, it's people would think that'd be fun, but it's scary. It's sad. It's like, dang, I want to do good things for you, not, make you pass out. But I get it.
I totally get it.
But at that time, I was like, whoa, oh my goodness, it was worrisome. I was just like, oh.
Is she okay?
I was like, did she hit her head? Did she y'all get some water, get some ice,
Fan her a little, maybe get her
food, some food will heal up anything. Food will get some food.
She was lightheaded and too much. She was overwhelmed. I'm sorry to this lady.
Hey, where are you at in the world?
I'm in Houston, Texas.
Oh, okay, bet.
Are you in LA or?
LA. I'm in LA right now.
Okay,
But
cool.
Houston is cool. I'm more of an Austin, Texas guy myself, but no, I haven't really like hung out in Houston like that. But I was in Austin for like 4 months.
Oh, well, let Anthony tell it. You know, he comes to Houston, it's always raining, so don't let him give you any reviews. Let me talk about it. You have to let me talk about it.
Hey, they got good food though.
Look, we can cook, we can eat. Those two things alone, I feel like, should make everybody want to move to Texas.
Oh, yeah. And beautiful people there.
Beautiful people here, absolutely gorgeous. You know, my mom is one of them, a lovely lady.
Oh, look at that. Hey, mama love.
Always. What is your least favorite song that you've released and why?
Probably just the songs that I haven't written. Like Drop It, Me Likey, but people love those songs. I mean, they're hey, I'm glad you like it, but those are probably my least favorite. You know, just mainly too because at that time it wasn't really my choice. Like it was my choice, but it was like when you're 15 years old and you got somebody who's at a label telling you, hey, this is a blah blah blah, this is that, and this is gonna do this. Okay, cool, do that. You know, you're not really as conscious on your decisions at that time.
Yeah.
But everything from In My Feelings to now, and even a few on the very first one, but like, yeah, from In My Feelings to now, like, if I didn't write on it, I changed something on it. You know, I'm so hands-on on everything else. And those things I can't regret ever.
That's so crazy. You sound like me and my siblings. There's an album that we have that we won't even listen to because we kind of had like maybe little to no like creative control, no say-sos, kind of just do this, do that, do this, do that.
Yeah.
And it really can put like a bad taste in your mouth because while you may be releasing songs that people love, it's songs that don't necessarily resonate with you or, you know, it's not you. And so it's like, geez, like I understand that feeling, I do. And you know, I'm always glad to see people happy, whole, and healthy, but I'm glad to see that you being a part of an industry that's maybe not so kind to up and coming children, you know.
Yeah.
Not very kind to us at all, but to be sane and whole and healthy is, you know, life will try to make it hard, but it's good to see, you know, people who are striving. That's good. And I'm happy about that. What is one guilty pleasure?
Watch the Twilight series, the entire thing, top to bottom, and guess what? This was my face the whole time. I had an excellent time watching those. I'm not even gonna lie. I remember watching when I was growing up, and I was like, man, it's cool. And then we didn't really have nothing to do, you know, everybody's in the crib. I was like, let's watch the Twilight Saga. We started on 1, we watched 3 that night. Then the next night we watched 2, and then the next night we watched the last one. We're like, what are you doing, Bella? Hey, Jacob is the one. And every scene of Jacob's like, Bella, that's me. I'm the best for you. You know that I love you, Bella.
And you, wow, oh my goodness. Just like him.
Why? That's his voice, right? Every time. I'm like, bro, if you come in here whining one more time, get your together. Every time he said, listen, he can't keep you warm. He's cold, Bella. He's cold.
But who wants to be warm all the time? I'm come through, I'm hot. I'm sweaty,
I know.
sir.
She said, hey. It just went from it being like cool to him being a hater. I'm like, if he comes in here one more time.
I mean, he just wouldn't let up. Like.
Then he's holding homegirl while looking at him like.
I mean, it's like just stabbing this guy with his eyes. Like, I'm gonna get your girl.
Yeah.
Sir, you don't want to go to school. You don't want to run with the other wolves. You don't want to take care of your dad. You don't want to.
All you want to do is be with my daughter that ain't born yet.
She wasn't the only girl in Forks. She wasn't.
Wow.
But anyway, what about this?
In Forks, you read the books?
I found my tribe.
She said Forks.
Ooh. All right. In your opinion, and in our current genre, in our current, you know, state of music, who would you say is the best rapper and why?
Best rapper?
Mm-hmm.
Just purely rapping, not songs, because you know rappers have bad songs. But rapping, Just purely, well, Eminem isn't anymore, but he was at one point. I mean, but he is, for me, he's the best lyricist of all time. I don't think anybody, just words, wordplay, you know what I'm saying? At his like, height of his stuff, that's my guy. But right now, best rapper, purely rapping, is Kendrick Lamar. You know what I'm saying? Just purely rapping. Now, if you say best rap songs, we're gonna go with old Drizzy. You know, Drizzy got the best rap songs. And you know, but to me, yeah, purely just rap skill is definitely Kendrick. I mean, Good Kid, Mad City was a masterpiece.
Ooh. I found my tribe.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. But because I love J. Cole too, right? People try to tell me though that J. Cole can rap better than Kendrick Lamar, and that just is not true. J. Cole is great.
He's a great storyteller.
Exactly, but you're talking about bar for bar, like.
That's Kendrick's. That's his niche. Yeah, that's his thing.
That's how he started off with battle rapping. That was his thing.
Have you ever heard of a rapper named J.I.D.? He's from like East Atlanta.
That sounds familiar, actually.
If you get a chance, look up his freestyle on, I think it was Funk Flex. One of the, like, just flow, like bar for bar, switch up his style. Like, he's so crazy. It's just crazy. I fell in love with him like last year. He's really good. I think you'd enjoy him if you like, you know, Kendrick. And Eminem could teach English class on how to flow, how to compose a song, how to put together like a story, like a real storyteller in rap and music. Really today, you really don't see. So this is good for me. Woo, okay, but this was all I needed from you. If you want to say something to your fans and viewers, and to my fans and viewers who may not be too familiar with you, probably are they, because a bunch of follow me.
Okay, well, hey, man, thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you. It's a pleasure meeting you. I love your energy. You're freaking dope. Can't wait to meet you. But yeah, thank you guys for the support. Be smart and stay sane during this time. Use it to self-reflect. Use it to reconnect with yourself and renew your mind. You know, I feel like this is, you know, sometimes in our lives we're always like, man, we don't have the time. We want to do this, want to do that, but now we got the time. So take the time, kind of shed everything off and rebuild a little bit. Also, I have an album dropping this year that I'm very, very excited about. This is my favorite album thus far. And I'm not just saying that. It's honestly is my favorite album. Got some dope features on there. And yeah, man, can't wait for you guys to hear it. I've just finished the cover art like a week or two ago, so I'm excited about that. But yeah, man, one love, God bless, and be well.
Thank you so much.